Making our headlines today, Thursday, March 5th. Parliamentarians met for the first sitting of the fourth meeting of the 2025-2026 session yesterday, and Alexa Valencia is the 2026 Young Musician of the Year. Good evening and welcome to CIGtv News, your official source for the latest and most accurate government information. I'm Lavita Thompson. Making our top story this Thursday, the House of Parliament opened for the first sitting of the fourth meeting of the 2025-2026 session yesterday, March 4th. The session opened with a number of questions from the opposition, including the state of government finances at the end of 2025. Minister for Finance and Economic Development, Honorable Rolston Anglin, provided the response.
Mr. Speaker, ministries, portfolios, and offices submitted their 2025 financial statements to the Office of the Auditor General by the 28th of February deadline for examination. During the audits, the Office of the Auditor General will likely determine that adjustments need to be made to the preliminary indicative surplus. In addition, the preliminary indicative surplus does not yet reflect the full adjustment of the actuarial valuation of the defined benefit pension plan. This valuation is typically finalized after the submission of the financial statements to the Office of the Auditor General. The most recent preliminary estimate for core government's 2025 surplus is $43.7 million. Mr. Speaker, the fact that there is a preliminary estimate of a 2025 surplus being $43.7 million does not mean that it was bound to occur. The preliminary surplus results from the fact that the current government took decisive action to arrest the trajectory that was heading to a deficit result. The decisive action taken by the current government involved specifying, in respect to the 2025 financial year, expenditure reduction initiatives, which included the following: maintaining a pause of non-essential recruitment through December 31st, 2025, to allow the government's budgets to reset to sustainable levels for 2026-2027 budgets, where recruitment is absolutely essential, whether permanent or temporary, including via temporary/recruitment agencies. Requests should continue to go via the Deputy Governor in accordance with the then guidance from the portfolio of the Civil Service. 2, reducing spending on supplies and consumables by a minimum of 10% of forecast expenditure. Suggested areas of reductions included, but are not limited to, official travel, professional fees, and security services. Where possible, reducing expenditure for outputs to statutory authorities and government companies by at least 4% of forecast expenditure. 4, reducing expenditure for outputs to non-governmental suppliers by at least 5% of forecast expenditure. 5, reducing expenditure for transfer payments by at least 15% of forecast expenditure. And 6, prioritizing, suspending, or deferring capital projects not yet contractually committed to ensure capital expenditure and investments yield reductions to a minimum of $50 million, with the aim to not exceed $102 million in 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
On immigration, the Minister Honorable Michael Miles outlined key amendments to the Immigration Transition Amendment and Validation Bill, including the automatic recognition of certain persons born in the Cayman Islands on or before the 26th of March 1977 as Caymanian. The bill was given a second reading. In health, the House also advanced the Health Insurance Amendment Bill, which introduces a clearer definition of medical indigency and addresses delays in processing time-sensitive cases. Parliament continued today and is available to be watched on demand on the Cayman Islands Government YouTube channel. The Cayman Islands' brightest young musical talent took center stage at the 18th Annual Butterfield Young Musician of the Year competition. 8 outstanding student musicians competed this year, each bringing remarkable skill and passion to their performance. Taking the top title was Valencia of St. Ignatius Catholic School and Spark School of Performing Arts, whose piano performance earned her the 2026 crown. Runner-up honors went to Charlotte Gotar, representing UCCI and the K-Musica Starlight program, for a captivating flute performance. The annual competition continues to be a powerful platform celebrating musical excellence across the Cayman Islands. For more information, follow DES Cayman on Instagram. Now for today's sports news. The grandstands at the Truman Bodden Sports Complex have been filled with parents, teachers, and supporters over the last 3 days for the intersecondary sports competition. This annual event brings together students from across the Cayman Islands to compete in track and field activities. We will provide a recap of all events, the winners, and standings in a future newscast. Time now for our weather forecast. Cloudy skies are expected overnight across the Cayman area, with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Easterly to northeasterly winds of 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts will keep seas moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. The unsettled conditions are linked to low-level moisture and an upper-level trough lingering over the northwest Caribbean, which is expected to persist over the next 24 hours. For local weather updates, be sure to visit the Cayman Islands National Weather Service website, weather.gov.ky, and follow their Facebook page for the most reliable coverage. If you're watching us on the CIG YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed with the facts straight from the source. That's all for today's news brief. I'm Levita Thompson. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you again tomorrow.